How's it going, Sagittarius community? Soul Tigress with a wonderful special story just for you. Some key words for this story is hold steady to your demands, Sagittarius. This is a part of healing your root chakra, learning how to ground yourself into your beliefs and dreams of where you want to see yourself. You lived a lifetime where you felt like the odds were against you the whole time. It's time to challenge others who target your stability. Show them they will not play on you anymore! Exclamation point. Now that is the key right here with these with the vibe that's going on, is not letting anybody play on you anymore. A part of healing your root chakra is a part of getting grounded in yourself. So the first card I see here, really beautiful, because when I started your cleanse, this was the very first card I see. This is something that you're also at odds ends with it. This is going to be a new moon in Leo, and this states confidence, Sagittarius. Confidence is the key to your success right now. Something else that this confidence that overshadows this confidence, something that you're confused on, is we have a new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. That is what this is about. The fear of standing up for yourself, the fear of not feeling like that you have a right to say what happens, to dictate, and I will use the word dictate, what happens in your space, in your environment, around you. You know, somebody could be targeting you just to throw you off, to make you feel insecure, to give you anxieties, to give you fear, to give you restlessness, because they themselves are not stable in themselves. So something else that you're confused on, almost at odds ends with, is conclusions are reached from within, or conclusions are within reach. There we go. Excuse me. But it's kind of like a little bit of both of those right there. You know, you really got to fill yourself out. You got to validate how you feel. And when enough is enough, you put your foot down and you don't give whoever, whatever, person, place, and or thing an option anymore. Let them know how you feel about them. Let them know that you're not going to deal with their bullshit, and let them know that this is a new day for Sagittarius. Now here we have this card. You're at odds ends with it and you don't really see it, is the answers you need are coming. This is communication. And honestly, when I was cleansing your cards, you had the other moon, which was the new moon in Gemini, saying that communication is key here. Again, putting out how you feel, putting out what you're going to deal with, putting out there again what you're not going to deal with, and sticking to it. Not giving other people options, no matter who they are. Something that you're at, you're confused about. You're not at odds ends, but you're confused about. And you don't see it, you don't know it, but it is a time for healing. And as mentioned in the vibe, we are healing your root chakra. This is what the Aries full moon is about. This is what the Scorpio new moon is about as well. Going through the conflicts that we have with the people around us, being able to conquer the fears, the triggers that they poke at, the triggers that have kept us in this one spot, letting people overly dominate us. This time, it's time to heal that by standing strong in yourself, validating yourself, knowing that you don't have to accept other people's ill behavior, no matter who they are. That's a big one for the introduction. And this is the time for healing the, not the heart chakra, but this could have to do a little bit with heart chakra too. But this is the time to heal that root chakra. It is the time to really stand tall in what you want to build and working from there. Being able to give yourself that permission to be okay with the decisions that you're making to get to that future you really want. So let's call it in. Our spirit guides, I'm hearing for the present moment. Oh my gosh, everything's going out every which way. I can tell you right now, I had a card land on the rose quartz and this lovely heart somebody's really special gave me. She was a young friend of mine. But also on that heart is a protection symbol. So something here with knowing in your heart that you are allowed to protect yourself. I'm hearing one more card. What is the last card? There it is. So let's see what this card is. Well, I'll show you everything that it lands on. So I was given this. I asked for a symbol or something, a token from a spiritual shop as protection, and she gave me this. She was letting me know that somebody had came in and these were blessed and that these were used for protecting our energy, grounding us back into the moment. So this is what that sits on. And then of course I had my rose quartz. So again, this tells me you need to go within your heart. You need to go within also that seed to the higher power, that divine. Sometimes we have a very odd relationship when it comes to believing in a higher power because of the way that we're raised or the way that we view things right now. I'm not saying specifically you need to go back to religion or you need to call this higher power anything. No, what I'm trying to get you to tap into is a higher belief out of love, and that is what the divine is. Now, the reason why I use the word divine, because I feel like that is a better word to use on the expansion energy of this higher vibration that we have around us, above us, below us, beside us, in front of us, behind us, but also within us. But it takes work, and it takes work in the love department. Not love for another, but love for ourselves and how we believe in ourselves. So let's go ahead and start. As we're mentioning beliefs, as we're mentioning stuff of traditional religion and stuff like that, I have the Hierophant at the farthest distance here in reverse. So there's something here about your beliefs that you're at odds ends when it comes to believing in something higher. Now I'm hearing that you have to deal with an energy directly who is just very conniving. And this energy, it really disrupts. It disrupts how you communicate with yourself. It disrupts with even the communication with others. And it's really has, and what I see is a grip hold on how you come about to certain decisions in your life, whether you know it or not. So something else that I see is we definitely have the World. Ooh, we have a few cards here. We have the World, the Three of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords here. This is a situation that has been steadily evolving throughout your life. You've had to deal with whatever this was for many years. This could have been a direct partnership where there was a contract involved. But there was something here when it comes to this Four of Swords. Four of Swords, we're going to take it back to our Libra energy. And I did see a Libra card here. There was something here that you were looking for when you started out. But by the time everything had came to an end, the way the cookie crumbled, you were left feeling like you didn't reach anything. Maybe you felt like you just wasted a bunch of time there. But the whole thing is, one of the biggest investments is investing in yourself and being able to work through the fears, even if it's the fear of failure. Just know that you're not failing if you are still learning. So a few other things that we see. So definitely what I see is you have a story here. You have a story here where you have been able to pick up and learn along the way with whatever you were dealing here within the past. And even though whoever this was that had such a death grip on you, I'm hearing to say, you still kept optimism, which you are a Sagittarius. Optimism is your thing when it comes to your planet Jupiter. For some reason, you never lost faith when it came to eventually putting these energies down. But what I hear is there's something here that I don't know if it's just like you weren't. I just get this time thing that you felt like things took too long to come about. For some reason, you feel like you're out of time when it comes to you, maybe personally, or maybe it comes to even going on another adventure with another person, place, and or thing. And this is something that you got to go within yourself. This is also a part of your fears. Something that I'm hearing to share with you as well is something that I was watching today. Look at that. You're not too late. You are right on time. Look at that, because you have the star here. You don't see it. You don't see it. But the whole thing is you've made a wish come true. Even though you felt like you failed, even though you felt like it took too long to get to this point in your life, you're right on time. So what I was going to detour off into is I was watching this show about different artists, different musicians, different actors, different actresses. And I did not know that Shania Twain was like 28 when she first got her first contract deal, where somebody had recognized her for her talent. She actually had a very, very, very hard upbringing when I was watching this story, starting basically from the dirt. She started from the dirt, had not very good clothes, didn't have much food, but she started from the dirt and she worked her way up and she never gave up. She wasn't even recognized until, again, she was 28 years old. So I bring that up because you're never too late. The only time where you are too late, Sagittarius, is when you choose to give up. Just remember that. That's why I bring out this star energy. There is something that you wished for, I'm hearing to say 5 to 10 years back. Even though you could feel like you took too much time, you are right on time because you achieved this wish fulfillment. And this wish fulfillment had to do with getting out of some fixed energy. Somebody, like I said, having that hold on you. Having that hold on you when it comes to certain chaoses in your life that was hard to get away from. But the thing is you didn't have much there. That's what I get. What you had in this place was a bunch of illusions. Somebody who was doing a lot of bad stuff. A lot of bad energy. Now, if you ever known an unbalanced Scorpio energy, they are hell to deal with, and they're really focused on just themselves, their needs, their addictions, I'm hearing to say. And this is what this energy was, whether it was a person, place, and or thing. But something here that was the biggest thing in your life is you never gave up. in the emotional side of things, even though you could have been battered mentally, battered spiritually, battered in many other different realms of your life, you never quite gave up. Even though you had somebody telling you the whole time that you weren't worth it, there was a passion. Again, there was that passion of being this good person, this passion of developing yourself, this passion of still holding that optimism that kept you going. And sometimes we forget that the Wands do talk about emotions as well, because remember, we had the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So kudos, Sagittarius. I know lately for the daily positive affirmations, it's definitely us working on challenging the critical mind, forgiving ourselves, loving ourselves, being able to bring ourselves back to the present. Because you know what? We get so wrapped up in the regrets, the failures of the past, and then we get so wrapped up or distracted by the fears that we hold for the future that we don't get time in this present moment. And I think that that's going to be the biggest thing. And I'm seeing a star right here as I mention your present moment. You are in your wish fulfillment, whether it's been healing, whether it's getting you to a different place, whether it's you being able to make moves to get away from whoever this is, because we have this Magician. So the Magician's also represented by Virgo. Virgo talks about communication. Virgo also talks about taking care of ourselves, our self-examination and improvement. This person is in reverse for all of that. This person cannot communicate very well, not at all. I'm hearing very selfish when it comes to communication. But also this person doesn't know how to take care of themselves. And this is something that you have to clear up in your thoughts when it comes to the conclusion of things. Not taking it out on yourself, but seeing it for what it is from different views. Whether it's the view now, and then being able to take that view of the past and use your healed self to see what the situation actually was. Not to be hard on yourself, no, but to see what you've learned and how you were able to get to this wish fulfillment spot now by challenging things. Not saying this is it for me. And that's what I'm hearing to tell you. All right, so let's call in our angels of protection. Angels of protection, please help guide us and keep us safe as we navigate the block for the Sagittarius. I'm seeing a lot of swords right away. Whatever this situation was, it really wore on you mentally, and something that you're having a hard time is saying, it's it, that's it, I've reached the end of this contract, I've done as much as I can, this contract is expired, it's completed, it's over, and it's done with. This is something that you need to also teach yourself and move towards. Instead of feeling bad for whatever has transpired because you picked yourself up and you still kept believing in things and you got to that wish fulfillment. Again, giving yourself permission to see that, giving yourself permission to accept it. So we have this Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. You go back and forth when it comes to the dishonesty of things. When it comes to how you even got entangled in this mess to begin with. Nine of Wands, you know, it took a lot for you to get up and go throughout everything that was happening. You could have had people who were telling you you were wrong for your beliefs. You were wrong to want to even take care of yourself. Maybe take care of the people around you differently that weren't this other who's a pain in the butt, I would say. But again, you led with your emotions. You led with your emotions, even though there was times that you couldn't see. You couldn't see in the foundations anything changing, but deep down emotionally, you felt like you were going to be able somehow to have some kind of justice. And you know, that was something that also kept you going, is eventually, again, holding that optimism for your future, for being able to balance out your world between the light and the dark, between the heaven and hell that you were living in at that time. So it's really giving yourself permission. I have Nine of Swords, Knight of Swords, both in reverse, Five of Swords. I told you there's a lot of mental stuff going on. Two of Coins. Be careful. Be careful, because what's happening here is you're juggling in your mind. You are juggling in your mind everything that this person, whoever this person who can't take care of themselves, is bringing to you. You make room in your mind, in your inner home still, to deal with the way that they speak to you. That's what I would say, because again, we have this communication here. And the thing is we got to get out of this conflict. We have to see, and what I'm hearing is how somebody is trying to set traps for you. Traps for you to get you hung up on them. They want you to believe that, you know, what you're doing is wrong. Basically, what I'm hearing is they want to reel you back in, whether this is a person, place, and or thing. Ooh. But I see somebody here, you know, you're still, again, holding that optimism for still building your success. But the thing is, you don't know if you can find success with another person, place, and or thing. And that's something that really does pull at you. That's something that you're really in conflict with, because you just don't want to go through the same thing over and over and over. Just know, Sagittarius, the way that you get good at being able to know what you like and what you don't like is by going through different situations and healing from them situations. For an example, it took me a little bit of time to figure out what kind of employer I'm working towards getting. And the reason why I say that, because I do have a gem now, but it took me time to be able to listen to the interviews, hear what this employer is requiring me, plus also seeing the environment. Before, I used to just go off of, hey, I want to get a job here, let's do it. And then I would get hired on, and like a month into it, I'm like, holy crud, this is not copacetic here. This is not the greatest. And guess what? Now I have an employer telling me that I need to lie about my break so that they don't get in trouble, even though I wasn't on break at that time. Oh yeah, that stuff happens. So just know, every time that you have something that feels like a failure, it is something that you can learn from, and to help get you to a better place that you want to be aligned with. Your ideal place that you deserve, whether it's a person, place, and or thing. But first, it's healing. You have to heal from this one. And you also have to put your foot down. And what you say needs to go at this point, regardless of whoever this is. So let's go ahead and call in divine and universal energy to come on in and help out with the positive messages. So you have possibilities still. Just know that you're never too old. It's never too late. Remember, Shania Twain had her first record deal where she was recognized by a company at 28, not 21, not 19, not 25, but 28. Sometimes things come in later. And I just want to say, she actually was working on stuff. She was in Canada, had a boyfriend who had contacts, and then her parents had passed away due to a car accident. So she had to stop everything that she was doing for herself musically before she was 28 and go back home to go raise her siblings. But she never gave up. Emotionally, she knew what she wanted to do, and she kept sending in her demos, and it took years. It took years for a record label to recognize the talent, the passion that she had. And again, she was 28 when she was finally recognized by a record label. So just know it's never too late. First thing that's out, first thing that you need to stop being at odds ends when it comes back to looking at the negative side of things when it comes to dealing with this situation, whoever, whatever it is we need to stop trying to see it from a backwards view. We need to see it for what it was. There was a lot of deceit. A lot of somebody coming in on you with their own agenda, whoever this person is. I told you it's this person who can't take care of themselves, this person who's not very good at communicating in an emotionally evolved way, mentally evolved way. You have to see that. And a part of seeing that is being able to rest upon it, being able to meditate upon it, upon the things that you had to juggle for years when it came down to this situation. Everything that you had to do, the above and beyonds that you did, and even the fact that you never gave up hope, even though you had somebody always on your ass, Sagittarius. Just know that, always on your ass, creeping up to no good, out for themselves, can't even take care of themselves. Something here you need to understand when it comes to this person setting up the trap for you. Oh, this person's upset. This place is upset because you took off. They're confused. This is a part of them wanting to keep you hung up because you're not there. And there's a whole lot of envy that they hold, a whole lot of deceit from this past, and a whole lot of envy for you making the moves that you're doing now. Well, this person didn't want to rise up. This person had a community that you were a part of with them, and they didn't rise up. What I'm seeing is this person is still making it about them. Always about them. Even now that you've taken yourself out of this situation, they're still about them. Alright, something that's going to help bring justice to you, help rebalance yourself, is being able to see that it's not too late for other possibilities in your life. Whether it comes to your career, a new career, maybe certain hobbies, maybe certain communities, maybe doing things with others. Just know that you still have a lot of possibilities ahead. It's not too late. Not too late. Something that you don't see is the templed path. I think this aligns back with being able to go within. Go walking within your inner home. Finding that place where you can step up and evaluate how you believe about things. how you believe about things, how you believe about yourself. Do you have higher beliefs for yourself? Can you believe in higher beliefs for yourself? This is something that is going to be a little temperamental. This is something that you shy away from as well. But remember, with every step towards healing that we take to get ourselves in a better place, it requires us to step up a step in the way that we see ourselves, in the way that we believe in ourselves as well. Just know one step at a time, one day at a time, Sagittarius. Something that you're not seeing, that you're at odds ends with, something that you deny yourself because, again, you feel like it's too late. It's the garden and the gate. Again, we always have failures in our past. Those failures help us see what we deserve and what we don't deserve. Don't lock yourself out of your own garden of fruitation, of blossoming, because you feel like you're too late because of your failures in the past. You are not too late. Being able to give yourself that permission to open that gate and see how you're reaching your wish fulfillment on your own, because you never gave up. Giving yourself, permission to have time to heal. To have time to heal from this energy who was very ill-mannered, couldn't take care of themselves, and really, really targeted your fears to keep you in this box where you don't have the confidence to go within yourself and feel that intuition guiding you, because again, they wanted you where they wanted you type of energy. And just know confidence is the key here, Sagittarius. Confidence when you're looking back at this contract, and being gentle with yourself for the way that things worked out in your world for years. For years, being gentle with yourself and all the views that others tried to say about you, and changing those views to a more loving view onto yourself, seeing how you were still growing. You may have been in a bad situation with a dumbass who was very jealous, who was very envious, who had a lot of deceit, but you stood steady growing. You stood steady growing. But again, we need to give ourselves permission to go in and to believe in ourselves. We also need to give ourselves permission to rest. Rest, rejuvenate, putting down the stress of this person who still wants to create deceit in our lives, because they're full of envy, because they no longer have access to us, and they no longer have permission, Sagittarius, to get you hung up, trying to make you feel like you're not successful, trying to make you feel like all you do is just destroy things, when in fact it was them destroying stuff, and it was you having to keep this hope that you didn't know that you had in your emotional being, I should say, to get through the illusions that this other was creating to keep you stuck, unable to get out of their conflict and away from them. Ooh-wee. But again, the biggest lesson here is seeing that it's not too late. There are still many possibilities for you, Sagittarius. One of the things is we have to take time when it comes to healing. Take time when it comes to us seeing things from different views. And being able to give ourselves permission to take one step at a time in healing our beliefs about ourselves, and also being able to get closer to that higher power, Sagittarius. The name of the game is to bring you balance. Bring balance back in love, light, and compassion. Getting you closer to that inner seed from the divine. And it starts with loving ourselves. It starts with believing in ourselves. Sagittarius. This is going to conclude it. Oh, this was an amazing story. I loved it. Thank you for sharing this with me. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out. And as always, I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.